Welcome to those who have joined us all here on a beautiful, clear evening. The conditions contributing to a fantastic atmosphere in the stands. This really is the place to be. I'm Peter Drury, and joining me here, our expert, Jim Beglin.
Cheers, Peter. It's a privilege to be here. It really is.
Expectations and decibels both rising fast here. Things are heating up, and we'll be getting underway very soon. We're up and running then. And that is a save of real quality, not easy by any means.
Well, I suppose he was being urged to shoot. Maybe the crowd will stay a little quieter next time.
Masuaku in acres of space out wide. Masuaku, just like so many of his contemporaries, is proving very good at driving forward. Now it's Yamal. Oh, nice touch. Yamal's cross. Mbappe! Decent attempt, but not quite good enough. Marquinhos promptly onto that, and that is that. And here's Yamal. Yamal will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Oh, there's a probing ball. Well timed, excellent interception. Can he finish? That is decidedly lacking.
Changement pour le Paris Saint-Germain. Le numéro 9.
So changes already, that is a bit of a surprise.
Well, I don't think he's going to be delighted at being substituted at this stage, especially when you consider the position they're in, and he'll be a bit miffed about this, yeah.
Silvestre playing game number 100 for his current employers.
Yeah, something that I mentioned to him in person before the match, Peter, although it took some time to register. Pretty much the same with me on my 100th game. I was more focused on winning than anything else.
Yamal's header! Now, who's going to be... Oh, he's been caught napping! In he goes again! Has another go! Sotoka. Neither side yet able to find the net. Oh, easy pickings there. Bulatovic. Spread it left. Yamal picks it up out wide. Now the delivery. He leaps for it! But he's left disappointed.
Well, he looks a little annoyed with himself, Peter, but he hit it well enough. Better look next time, maybe.
Saar, Bulatovic, and it's Tova. Abdulhamid. Now it's Ferran Torres. Celik cuts out the pass. Saar. It's not an especially good pass, that. Deftly away. Oh, he's caught him there, it's a free kick. And he is going into that little black book. Masuaku proves just a little bit too strong. Yamal. Yamal going face-to-face. Pedri! It's a carbon copy of the previous miss.
Well, they're just unrelenting, Peter. Wave after wave of attacks. Now it's just a matter of making at least...
Chance! And no mistake! No, flags up on the far side.
The decision came a little late because the referee initially didn't see the assistance flag, but it's the right call.
A moment's uncertainty there, but it is the right call. Paris Saint-Germain have run the changes, tries one from range! And a terrific save from the keeper.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
Paris Saint-Germain with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually. Here's the header! No, he didn't quite meet it right. Lens couldn't do a whole lot with it there. They could do with more sharpness in their passing. Now that's a fine challenge. Masuaku did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. Well, terrific effort! Francesco Esposito is flagged offside. Francesco, and a chance! Good run, lovely take, but that is where it stopped.
Esposito has every reason to be disappointed after being played in so well. The gaffer won't let him forget that.
Aim forwards. Looking for the run. It's a promising position. He's got away. Oh, this is a big chance! Goal! Paris Saint-Germain! On the cusp of half-time, he delivers with perfect timing. It was a great finish. He put it away with great poise, dead-eye accuracy.
Well, Peter, I think the keeper knew straight away he was never going to get to it.
You felt it was coming. 1-0.
Well, I think the managers are going to have to scrap whatever they had in mind for the half-time team talks. One has got to tone it up now and the other has to tone it down.
Yamal receives it in a good position here. Engages and forces him off the ball. Shot a goal! And he has kept it out somehow.
Pedri actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Alexander-Arnold with the short one. Hazard! And that brings the first half to a close. Paris Saint-Germain are up by one then, but really feel they should be up by more. What do you think we're up to after 45 minutes?
Paris Saint-Germain really have looked very good in transitions, so I'll be expecting more of the same in this second half. They just need to remain patient and just wait for that chance to break again.
Paris Saint-Germain have played well here, and they have the all-important lead. It's 1-0. And if you have just joined us, well, we've just begun the second period here.
Well, if you're ahead, it's a good time to start moving the ball quicker, Peter. Entice your opponents out. See if you can open them up a bit more.
Well, you might think he got off lightly. It is just a verbal warning.
Well, with him already been on a yellow, he should know much better than that.
Haidara, Celik. Antonio. Haidara. Can he get it through? Abdul Hamid. He's shifting through the gears here. Flashes it across. Donnarumma deals with that nice and simple. Esposito. And here's Yamal. Great defending, strong and determined. Haidara. That's good pressing, squeezing the play. Paris Saint-Germain just about have their noses in front. It is the slenderest of leads. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. That is lovely. Oh, that's fabulous. Esposito looking to shake off some unwanted attention.
Yeah, and they've got to be careful, Peter, that they don't allow their attempt to snuff out the threat now to turn into indiscipline.
Well, that is one way to stop him. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Now it's Sotoka. Now it's Said. Oh, just skips past his man. No, he's not getting past him there. Camavinga is the guilty party there. Camavinga has been booked, just to confirm, for that earlier incident.
That's exactly what they need to keep doing. Carry on plugging away and eventually you might just get that little break.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible look about them here.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
And he whips it in. They've played it short. Paris Saint-Germain have the chance to go the other way. Pedri. Sarr. So, Jim, what are you thinking?
They're ahead, but they're not playing as if they are. There seems to be more of an emphasis on protecting their lead than adding to it. It's all gone a little timid.
Real chance! And it's in! And there we have it, the two-goal cushion. Well, how's that for a class finish?
Well, he's a defender's nightmare. You try to send him one way and he just slips the other.
70 minutes du jeu par le numéro 7.
Things starting to look very comfortable.
Well, it's a great time for them to keep the momentum going. I don't see any need to change the approach. Keep at it with the same intensity and soon enough they'll get another break.
Bulatovic. Paris Saint-Germain still have the cards to affect this game. And that could set him on his way. Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
Now it's Sotoka, just eases him off the ball. Now, can they get him away? That's very neat. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Lens can now introduce the first of their substitutes.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
Now it's Ferran Torres. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. Pedri. Decent chance! And it's there! And he's got what he came for, his 20th goal. And that really is so impressive.
I'm not making any apologies, but I was willing him to supply the finish, and he came up trumps.
Numéro 7.
Paris Saint-Germain find a position of real strength now. Aimed beyond the defence. Oh, he had to make that, and he did make it. Haidara. And Tova. Yamal. Looking to play him in. And that's gone behind for a goal kick. Lens have opted to make another change here.
I think you have to admire his willingness to keep plugging away, but the manager has done him a big favour, I think, by taking him off. You know, he was looking very leggy.
And that's clear cut, it's a free kick. He knows what's coming, a second yellow, and he's off. Well, the protest continues, but in the end they are defending the indefensible. Well, there may be some scope for debate over the seriousness of the offence, but none over its repercussions. They'll have to see out the rest of the game with 10 men.
I just think it was a cheap foul to give away.
And the whistle's gone, presumably for offside.
Temps additionnel, 5 minutes.
And a neat finish. And there's your hat-trick hero. He is simply indefatigable. And that is fabulous. A true beauty of a goal.
Oh, that's an incredible shot. The dip and the curl he managed to get on it. Impeccable technique, Peter. Absolutely impeccable.
And there was his third, and boy, he looks the business, doesn't he just?
Well, he's made this game all about him. He's got a fantastic appetite for goals.
Paris Saint-Germain are having a ball here. That's good running with the ball. Just seeing the board now, it's going to be 5 extra minutes. And he shoots! It's loose, and again! And that's a good finish. And the headlines continue to get darker and darker.
Well, I think we've reached the point when even damage limitations is no longer an option.
Le numéro 18.
Paris Saint-Germain are at the peak of the... And that's that! Paris Saint-Germain have done the business, grasping what they saw as rightly theirs, maximum points. Ferran Torres gleefully reminding us of what a superb day he's had at the office. Well, after all of that, Jim, what are you thinking?
Paris Saint-Germain definitely impressing me here, especially the way